Hi, this is Chris Lamm, Commerce Home Mortgage. This is a market update for the month of October. Got a very special guest today, a good friend of mine, Riley Johnson, who happens to be a home inspector here in Redding. And I have a lot of clients that ask us questions throughout the year about what are the types of inspections that we could expect to get. And obviously as a lender, one of the main ones that we need to get is an appraisal to determine the value of the property. But there's always other inspections that may not be required from a loan standpoint, but are definitely advisable for a borrower to get when they're making such a big investment, whether it's their first home, their second home, or an investment property. One of those inspections is a home inspection. So Riley Johnson here with Shasta Inspections, it's called?
Shasta Home Inspections.
Shasta Home Inspections. He's a home inspector in the area that a lot of real estate agents that we work with use, and he does a great job for his clients, and we certainly send a lot of people to him. So we wanted to talk about a couple things, starting with what is the importance of getting a home inspection? Riley, I know that a lot of people that come and sit at my desk, one of the first things they say is it really necessary? A common thing is my uncle or my cousin Joe's a contractor.
Sure.
Can't we have him just check the house out? What are your thoughts on that?
Sure, and that's something I hear a lot, people trying to save a few bucks. The average price of an inspection around here is about $300. So it is a cost that the buyer has to foot. But really the potential upside of that is huge, and you get a family member, a contractor, a guy that's handy to come do it. Even if he's familiar with construction, he's not familiar with how systems deteriorate. Someone that does it day in and day out is going to have a better idea of what they're looking for in that instance.
Yeah, and usually most contractors aren't going to crawl the crawl space. I mean, one of the things I like about a home inspection, which anytime I buy a house I also do, is that Riley's going to be checking the receptacles. He's going to be checking every little detail of that house. So it's really kind of a nice thing to know. The other thing that I always tell people is don't be surprised if there's something wrong with the house. Most of the time there's going to be things that are going to be wrong with the home, but it's really no different in a sense of buying a used car. If you buy a used car, the tire tread may be a little bit wore. There's going to be some wear and tear, and it doesn't necessarily mean that house isn't a good deal or that you shouldn't go forward with the purchase. More than anything, it's just nice to have a list of the items that will at some point need to be repaired, and it gives you kind of a life expectancy on some of the big ticket items of the home. Don't you think that's a pretty good thing to know?
Absolutely, especially with regards to heating and cooling, roof, water heater, windows. You're going to have an age on those items in the report, as well as a life expectancy, so you can gauge what outlays you might need moving down the road to keep your house in tip-top shape.
One of the other aspects of a home inspection that I've seen for years is a really good thing is that when a real estate agent has their buyer do a home inspection, a lot of times it can be a tool for negotiation with the seller. How does that work usually, or what's your experience with that?
So my role there is I basically hand the buyer 30 pages of information and say, here's everything I could find about your house. So then the real estate agents will sit down with the buyer, they'll say, hey, these little things we can worry about, but this roof's on its last legs. Perhaps we could either pursue a credit or some kind of repair prior to close of escrow. So again, the upside of the home inspection is discovering these things while you're in escrow, while you still have time to back out and time to make negotiations, whether it's a credit or repair is performed before you close.
Nice. And lastly, Riley, tell us just kind of the average process, if you could summarize, when you approach a home. What are some of the big ticket items that you're looking for that could cause a buyer to want to negotiate with the seller or second guess the purchase? What are some of the major things that would cause problems when someone's buying a house? Sure,
it's pretty rare that there are defects that are so severe that I'd call them deal killers. It's really uncommon, but the foundation systems, cracking, settling. Any kind of pest damage, of course, you want to get a separate pest inspection as well to determine whether or not there are termites or beetles present. That's something that's out of the scope of a home inspection. But again, just the big ticket items that are going to require replacement in the near future. Again, roofs are about 10 to 15 grand across the board right now. HVAC about the same. So if you're putting a small down on a property and you don't have that cash in the bank, it's something you're going to want to know about before you close. Wintertime comes, your roof's leaking, and if you're not in a spot to take care of that, it's something you'd rather know beforehand.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for checking this out. I hope this information was useful for you. I know it was for me. Obviously, if you guys have any questions about home inspections or anything lending or real estate related, I hope you can call me at the office anytime. Enjoy your October. Have a great day, and thanks for checking this video out.